Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's tutorial, this is the fabric that we'll be using. This is the fabric and this is the lining. I want to cut the fabric and the lining together. It saves me time. And also the kind of top, the upper part of the gown is just basically a normal princess dart, so I can actually cut the front and the back together. So this is for the front panel and this is for the back panel. So that is it. So what I'm going to do is to take the shoulder slope. Take note that this space I left here is for the zip allowance. This is for the zip allowance. So for the shoulder slope, the shoulder I'm using it's 13. 13 divided by 2 it's before I start I do that, let me draw out my starting point. So this is my starting point. The shoulder I'm using it's 13. 13 divided by 2 it's 6.5. 6.5 plus half-inch seam allowance that I'll use to join the shoulder to the sleeve, which is 7. So this is 7. This is 7. And then I'll take the standard 3 to get my shoulder slope. Here I'll come down by 1 inch. For the neck, the width of the neck will be 4. This is 3, and then I'll now mark 1 here, which is here, the width. And then the depth I'll be using it's 4. The depth will be 4. Then for the back neck, I'll be using a depth of 2. And then I'll connect. So that's that. Then I'll come from the shoulder to the bust point is 10. This is 10. From the shoulder to the under bust is 13. This is 13. And then from the shoulder to the half length it's 15. So I'll mark 13, that's for the under bust, and 15. So instead of me to mark 15, I'll mark 15.5, which is actually this extreme end here. Which is actually this extreme end here. So I also go ahead and do the same. 13 and then 15.5. So I use my ruler and connect. So for the upper bust, to get the upper bust, I'll divide the bust by 6 plus 1.5. The bust is 32. 32 divided by 6 is 5.3. So 5.3 plus 1.5 is going to give me 6.8, which is approximately 7. So I'll just make it 7. This is 7. Take note that I have to start from this here. you know, here I minus 1, so from here to here it's 7, but if I'm to start from the edge it will be 8. So that is it. And then I'll come down. Remember that what I took here was 7, so I also mark 7. So for the armhole, the front armhole, what I'm going to do is to this is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. This is 3.5. Then I'll come in by 3/4, and then I'll curve it. Then to know where I'll stop at the curve, I'll divide the bust by 4, and the bust divide by 4, that's 32 divided by 4 is going to give me 8. Then I'll add 1/4 for ease allowance. So this is for the front armhole. For the back armhole, I'm going to use here to connect. The bust point to bust point I'm using is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. 3.5 plus half is 4. So I'm going to mark 4 here. Also come down and mark 4. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to note the midpoint of this. Note the midpoint of this. Is 8. So I'll just mark 4. And then connect. I'll extend it to the back armhole. So that's that. So you know that if I should go ahead and cut, we might have a shortage here. So what I'll do is that this will be for the front armhole. That's this one, because if I'm to cut them separate, I'll have to increase at least 1, and then have my new armhole. So this will be for the front armhole. Then for the back armhole, I'll just increase it a little bit, then curve. So this is for the front armhole and the back armhole, just to avoid having a shortage. So the waist I'm using is, her waist is 26. 26 divided by 4 is 6.5. 6.5. You know, I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to use 1/2 inch on both sides to sew it. So 6.5 plus 1 is 7.5. So 7.5 plus 2-inch seam allowance is going to give us 9.5, which is here. And I'm also going to add 2-inch seam allowance to here, which is here. So I'll go ahead and connect. So before I go ahead and cut, I have to, let me add just a 1/2 inch here that I used to join the front panel to the back panel. That's for the shoulder. After that, I'll go ahead and cut. So when cutting, I'll first of all cut for the back panel before cutting that of the front panel. So that's what I'll do. So I finished cutting it. This for the back panel and this for the front panel. For the down part, what I did was to divide her hip by 3. Her hip is 35. 35 times 3 is 105 inches. So that is what I have here. 105 inches. 105 inches. So the gown is going to have 2 pockets. That's one on each side. So I'm going to still go ahead and open it up here. If it was not going to have a pocket, I won't, still go ahead and divide it into 2. But since it's going to have a pocket, so I'll go ahead and also divide it into 2. And also for the length, the full length of the gown is 55. And then remember that the half cut is 15. 15 plus 55 minus 15, it's let me say 40. So you can see what I have here is 42. It's 42. So I'm just going to leave it like that because I'm going to use 1.5 inch to hem it on the down part, then use the 1/2 inch to join the down part of the skirt to the upper part of the skirt. So that's that. So I'll go ahead and cut it into 2 since it's going to have a pocket. So for the pocket, depends on how you want it to be. I just folded this into 4. If I place my hand, it's going to be okay like this. So I'll just go ahead and just trim here a little bit. Just trim it. This should be okay. And I'll cut it into 2. So this will be for one side and this for the other side. So that is that. So for the sewing, what I'll just do is this is the front panel. So I'm explaining the front panel. So I'll just join this to this, join this to this. So, and I'll also do that to the lining. So same thing. So after doing that, I'll now use the lining, place it on the fabric, then sew and turn it over. So that's what I also do for the back panel. So as you can see, I'm through with it. I've gone ahead to use the lining to turn it. This is the front panel and this is the back panel. You can see the way it is. You can see the way it is very, very neat. You can see it. And also this for the back panel. You see it. So this is where the zip is going to be. I'm here to fix the zip. I just used a loose stitch to stitch it and then press it open, so that when fixing my zip it's going to be easy and it's going to be very, very neat. So you can see the way it is. So what I'll do now is to go ahead join the shoulder. I'm going to join the shoulder. And when joining the shoulder, do not join your shoulder like this. You just join it and sew. No, it's not going to make your work to be neat. What you do is, there are different methods to join the shoulder, but for this, what I'm going to do for this is the way it is now. I'm going to use just one of this to turn it like this. So if I turn it like this, I hope you can see it. If I turn it like this, then I'll go ahead and sew. And so when I sew, I'll now bring it back. So you won't see the stitch. You won't see the stitch. The stitch is going to be inside. So that's how I'm going to join the shoulder. So after joining the shoulder, I'll now take her measurement, that's her bust measurement and her waist measurement. Then I'll now connect it. So after connecting, make sure you use your client's accurate measurement. So after taking the measurement, I will now sew it. So after sewing it, I'll just go ahead, open it up here, and then fix the down part of the gown to it. So that's what I'm going to do. So for the down part of the skirts, you can see I've gone ahead to join them. So I have one long fabric. I've already fixed the pocket. You can see it's going to have two side pockets. So there's a pocket here and there's a pocket here. So that's that. You can see how the pocket is. You won't even know that there is a pocket here. You can see the way it is. See, you see the pocket. So I'm going to put the link to the description box on how to, insert your pocket. If I should add it to this video, it's going to be very, very long, and I don't want it to be so. So I'll make a separate video on how to insert this, a detailed video on how to make this kind of pocket. You see it. So even if someone should, if you look at it, you won't even know that there is pocket. You can see it. So that is that. So the way I'm going to do the kiss plinth is, okay, this is for the zip allowance. So what I will do is, depending on how many fabric you have. So what you do is, okay, for the zip side now, this is what I'm going to do. I'll just, fold it like this. That's for the back. Then the other side, I'll also fold it. So it's going to somehow cover the zip a little bit. Then if I'm to continue now, I'll now, like the way it is, I'll fold it, bring it to the front. You see it. Then this, I also take it. Make sure that what you take here is the same with what you take here. If you're taking 3 here, make sure it's 3. If you measure 4 here, make sure it's 4. If you measure 2 here, make sure it's 2. So that is it. So you see, like this. And I'm going to do that continuously. So after this, so what you do, this one will now face this side and this one will now face this side. So when I get to the pocket side, what I'll do is, I'm going to fold like this for it to cover the, this is the pocket. So if I fold one here, I'll also go ahead and fold like this. It's going to, be facing the pocket. So that is what I'm going to do. Then after doing that, I'll go ahead and join it to the upper part of the dress. So as you can see, I'm done with the clothes. I've joined the down part to the upper part, and I also went ahead to fix the zip and also the hand. I already have a detailed tutorial on how to fix your zip, and I also have a tutorial on how to draft out your sleeve. So you can go and watch it if you don't know how I was able to do that. So as you can see, it's like I said earlier, the pleats, one will be facing, like one will match the darts. I'll have a pleat that will match the dart. You can see it here, one at the middle, this one for the second dart, and then I have by the two sides, and then when we turn the back, you can see this one too is facing the dart here, this one here, and then this one is just facing the zip. You can see how it looks. You can see how beautiful it looks. You can see it. So that is that. I hope you learned something from this tutorial. If you do not forget to give me a thumbs up and share with your friend. So till I come your way next time with another interesting tutorial, do have a lovely day. Bye bye.